Take notice. The most powerful Republican in the United States Senate thinks you can't handle the truth about campaign donations. You, as an American, you can't handle the truth. He wants to protect the wealthiest donors and keep their names and you in the dark. Senator Mitch McConnell told a conservative think tank that the Disclose Act is a threat to free speech. He says it's dangerous if you find out who donates money to political campaigns.
It's not an act of good government, it's a political weapon. And that's precisely what those who are pushing this legislation have in mind.
The truth is a political weapon. Senator McConnell is defending the Koch brothers. He named them in that speech. He thinks they have been targets of the political weapon that he's talking about. Charles and David Koch are reportedly planning a fundraising summit this weekend in San Diego. Politico reports that the Koch brothers want to raise more than $395 million for the Republican cause. Their summit is supposed to be top secret. No press allowed. You're not invited. You'll never know how much money they rake in or who throws the money in the pot. Remember, the billionaires want something in return for all of this fundraising. They want deregulation. They want regulation and legislation that is going to favor their industries. They're keeping secrets from you and calling it free speech. I'm joined tonight by former Vermont Governor Howard Dean, former chairman of the DNC and consultant to McKenna, Long, and Aldrich, and Democracy for America. Governor Dean, great to have you with us tonight. Appreciate your time. I know that this is a subject that you get your back up quickly on. Your response to Mitch McConnell protecting the Koch brothers, saying that the liberals are being unfair to the Kochs. What's your response?
This has nothing to do with liberals. This has to do with a Republican Party that cares more about themselves and their own power than they do about our country. You couldn't find very many Tea Party people who would agree with Senator McConnell. The fact of the matter is this is bad for America, and Senator McConnell has put his party ahead of his country. I think that's wrong, and I think the American people will punish that at the polls in November.
This is the most vocal the Republicans have ever been supporting these billionaires who are throwing money in there. Senator McConnell is he is attacking Democrats because they want Republicans to disclose campaign donations. Do you agree?
Well, there are a lot of Republicans who've said this. I've heard Karl Rove said he's for disclosure. I don't know where Senator McConnell got his position. This is not a particularly Republican position. It turns out that he represents the Republican Party, which is why I think the Republican Party is going to get their just desserts in November. This is not something that's good for America. When you decide that ordinary Americans must not know who's influencing politics, that is about keeping power for those 1%. And the Republican Party, in fact, represents the 1%. They don't give a damn about the 99%, and I think that's surely going to be clear by the election.
Howard, what do you think these billionaires want? I mean, are they just having fun with this election cycle, throwing millions? What do they want?
They want control over America the way they had in the 1920s when they drove us into bankruptcy, the way they had in the late 1800s after the Civil War. They want to control this. They want to make more money. Frankly, this is not about America. This is about them. And I think we've had enough of that kind of politics.
Well, no doubt. But isn't there hatred for President Obama really fueling all of this as well?
There is a hatred from President Obama, and some of this may be racism, but I think most of it is greed. These are very, very wealthy people. They don't want to. Here's the thing that bothers me about this. They fundamentally don't understand that if they lived in some other country, they couldn't make this kind of money because the other countries don't have the freedom and the democracy. But there's a price for freedom. And part of the price for freedom is not just what the veterans have had to give up, giving their lives in various places in the last century or two. It's part of the price for freedom is paying taxes. Yeah. And understanding we live in a community, and this is a community of 310 million people, and they think they're better than everybody else. You think the Koch brothers give a damn about the average American? They don't. They just want their own wallets, and there's a lot of those people like that who are giving to those PACs. $100 million Shelley Adelson is giving to Republicans. He doesn't give a damn about the United States of America. He gives a damn about Shelley Adelson. And that is the terrible stain on the Supreme Court, on the Roberts Court, is that they allowed America to be put up for sale with Citizens United, which has allowed this kind of spending without disclosure.
although Mitch McConnell says that, this is all about freedom of speech and protecting freedom of speech, which is absolute hogwash coming from the guy who says...
What they're doing is taking our government away from us and selling it to the highest bidder. That's what Mitch McConnell is doing.
No doubt. Howard Dean, always great to have you with us on The Edge
Thanks
Show.
a lot,
Thank
Ed.
you.
Thank you.
You bet.